It took me too long to pull great espresso shots at home, because despite building my home barista setup with the best machine and grinder I could afford, my workflow wasn't as clean, efficient, and consistent as it was when I was at the cafe. Over time, I realized I lacked the tools to help me get the results I was used to. So today, I'll show you 7 tools I regret not buying earlier. And number 7 is one I can't live without. Tool number 1. Every time I was dialing in my espresso, I ended up with a huge mess because of the used box. But that wasn't the worst part. I was risking my portafilter, and a damaged portafilter is a barista's nightmare. So to keep things tidy and efficient, and to protect my tool, I had to eventually give in and buy a knock box. Most people ask, can't I just use a regular trash can? Why would I spend more money on a tiny box for coffee grounds? Well, here's why. First, it's easy to damage a portafilter with all the constant knocking into a hard surface. Using this tool helps me protect my portafilter and basket and make them last for longer, as this material really absorbs the impact. It's part of your setup, so it's always at reach and you don't have to move away. Also, my kitchen was a mess. A knockbox keeps everything tidy, and it's pretty easy to clean up after. You can empty it every other day or every day if you want, depending on how much coffee you make. And to clean it up, you can simply rinse it or use some soap for the stubborn bits. Most of these are also dishwasher safe, like this one I got from MHW 3 Bomber. Tool number 2. The next tool is one that not only kept things clean, but also greatly improved my consistency and the taste of my shots. When I was working at a coffee shop, I had access to high-end grinders that ground and packed the exact dose into the portafilter, a complete dream. Also, we had a pretty large volume, and we would go through the beans fast enough that they wouldn't become stale. But at home, of course, things are different. We cannot afford those luxury items, and we're extracting maybe 1 or 2 coffees at a time. So it's easy for the coffee beans to get old and oxidize in the hopper. So a couple months into my home setup, I decided to get a dosing cup, and my life just changed. A dosing cup can make things so much easier. You can measure your beans in it, set them in the grinder, collect the grounds, transfer them into your portafilter pretty easily and quite mess-free. Aside from espresso, I find myself using my dosing cup for nearly every coffee I ever brew, no matter the brewing method. So I will say this is a pretty good tool to have around. Tool number 3. The following tool has a bit of controversy since its invention, as there are many baristas who believe it is simply a waste of money. Funny enough, the price of the tool can go from practically $0 to almost $500. And I bet you already know what I'm talking about. But before we jump into that, if you're finding value in this video, please like and subscribe so I can keep sharing content with more happy beans and helping more coffee enthusiasts enjoy better coffee at home. When I just got started in the espresso world, I distributed manually. Yes, using my fingers, David Chalmers style. Eventually, I got myself a wedge distributor, but it didn't completely take care of the clumps. And this is when I decided to get a WDT. This tool is used for the wise distribution technique, where you use fine needles to break clumps in your puck, reducing channeling and achieving a more even extraction. Some people believe that using a WDT makes no difference at all, and that's okay, especially if you're grinding fine enough, but it's made an incredible difference for my workflow. This obviously depends on a lot of factors, starting on how clumpy your grinder is delivering the ground coffee, or how humid your environment is. But since using the WDT, that's none of my business. This tool was developed to compensate for home grinders, so it's perfect for me and maybe for you and anyone making coffee at home. Depending on your WDT tool, the needles may be firmer or weaker, and it will change the way you'll distribute. Some people just stick needles to a cork, others go fancy and spend $500 on this. This one I got from MHW 3 Bomber. It might work for you, it's just gonna set you back about $30. And I love that it comes with this little magnetic stand, so the needles, won't be damaged by just laying around in your kitchen. The link will be in the description if you wanna check it out. And if you buy it, then make sure you also get the next tool on this list. Tool number 4 is the funnel. This is the best, or maybe the only way to use the WDT without spilling coffee everywhere. Otherwise, the mess is sure to come, you'll be restricted with your distribution. I suggest you get a magnetic funnel like this one, as it will make it safer to use without any concerns. It will just stick to your portafilter. Feel free to really move around the ground coffee to get the full benefit of the distribution. Then, you can give it a couple taps on the counter to settle them, and voila, the puck is ready for tamping. Which leads me to the 5th tool that I regret not buying earlier. Tool number 5. As soon as you set up the most basic of espresso bars, you get a tamper. Maybe it's a plastic one, like this one that came with the machine and it's pretty useless. Or it's a regular one, like this one. which can certainly get the job done. The problem with regular tampers though, they don't often fit your 58mm portafilter perfectly, so it's easy to go harder on one side and lose the even tamping. Or you may have a heavy thumb and you always lean it towards one side. Be as it may, if you haven't mastered your tamping technique and your pucks are still looking pretty uneven, it can cost you several wasted espresso shots and precious beans until you nail it. This tool has improved my workflow significantly and diminished channeling and uneven tamps. It consistently applies 30 pounds of force to the ground coffee, and I truly regret not buying this sooner. I'll leave you a link to the one I use in the description if you want to check it out. Tool number 6. If you want to prevent channeling, get a uniform extraction, and improve the taste and balance of your shot, you might want to get your hands on this tool. I got mine pretty recently, honestly, and I have to admit I wasn't expecting much, but I was wrong. A puck screen helps with the distribution of water before it comes into contact with the packed ground coffee, so the extraction is pretty even and the result is balanced. It also keeps your group head clean for much longer. However, a puck screen can only improve your shots if you already know the channeling of imperfection is not produced by your tamping technique. So it's only if you're doing everything else right that the puck screen will help you in achieving consistent shots. The downside? It can really be a pain to take it out of the spent puck, especially when it's piping hot and you're extracting shots back to back. To me, the consistency is worth the effort, but it's up to you to decide if it works for you. Tool number 7. And after you pull your shot, what is the most common drink baristas prepare? A latte, or any of its many variations. So if you are making delicious milk-based coffee drinks, or if you're trying to impress your friends and your family with beautiful latte art, you need to get the right milk pitcher. And in this video, you'll learn which one is the best for you. Let me teach you all about it. I'll see you there.